Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies of a Man once again, and today we are doing another Kaiju number 8 video. Today we're going to be covering chapter 13, which was really great. I really enjoyed it. So, let's start with the recap. I'm going to recap last chapter, then I'm going to jump in full spoilers for the proper chapter, and then at the end we'll talk about some theories, but really I don't really have any this week. So maybe we'll talk about something else at the end. So if you aren't caught up to Kaiju number 8 for this week yet, go check it out on Viz Media or on Manga Plus. I think it's the British one. And read it there. Or you can go watch my previous videos. I'll link them up in the card so that you guys can see. And watch those and then come back for this one. So let's just jump into the recap here. The team was basically deployed that last chapter. Well, they were deployed the chapter before that at the end, but we only got to see them have to leave. In this past chapter, chapter 12, we saw them finally arrive on the scene. We saw them receive orders. We saw them set up and, mentally prepare themselves to start their first battle, because this is kind of momentous for them. It's the first time that they properly have to put their life on the line. It's the first time that they're working together as a team. There's a lot of stuff to it that's really important. So they have to prepare mentally for the battle. Kafka and Reno have a bit of a hype up session where they talk to each other and they kind of get ready, right? And then the battle begins. They jump over some cover and then they run to the Kaiju. And it was super cool last time. And yeah, so this week's chapter had 23 pages. And we're going to completely jump into spoilers right now. So if you're not interested in that, please come back later, or, not at all if that's not really what you want to do. So, yeah. Okay, chapter 13. Hoshina, who I used to call Bollcut because I didn't know his name, but now I do, starts off by telling the team to do good, to be sure of themselves and to show off their skills to the older JDF team, like the other officers basically. And Kafka is super hyped. He's looking down at his own hands and he's like ready to show up and do some cool stuff. Obviously he can't really do anything because he only has 1% available of his suit power. But he turns it on and he runs forward. He's ready to go attack the Kaiju. Sadly, he gets bowled over by the Kaiju. It's really funny. He gets smacked and he falls somewhere else. And Kikoru's just like, bro, really? Stay away. You're not even 1%. You're not gonna do anything. And then there's this older member of the JDF that chastises both Kikoru and Kafka. He's like, yo, you guys need to chill out. You need to relax. This isn't really going to help you. We don't even know the weaknesses of this Kaiju. And, Kikoru's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll just hit it everywhere that it looks weak. And she takes it down with she takes it down by herself. She takes a couple shots to do it. But apparently that's a really crazy, super interesting thing about her, that she's so good that she can take down a Joju by herself. And the older JDF team member is his socks are blown off and he's like, oh my god, really? She did it all by herself? I guess this is what it is when it comes to this girl. She's just a badass like that. And she's super cool. What else is there? So Kikoru does the thing and then she hits all the spots. And then so the Kaiju's done. Kafka praises her. He's like, you know what, Kikoru, you did great. Great job. And she reacts kind of, not violently, but a lot more than a normal person would. And I guess this is because she hasn't been praised for doing well ever. Not in a way that's meaningful. Not in a way where she feels happy about it, instead of just being congratulated because she has to be, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it properly, but she gets really embarrassed, and then she turns around. She's like, yeah, it's because it's me. All of this, I'm a badass. Obviously, I'm going to do good. But then her suit acts up, and it's like, hey, your heartbeat's up. Why is that? And she reacts, and she's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. But we all understand that it's basically because she's embarrassed. Whether that's embarrassed because praise from Kafka specifically is something that she wasn't expecting, for some, you know, specific kind of vaguely romantic reason because he saved her life, which I would prefer that that's not why. Or if it's because she's never had anyone tell her this, or praise her like that. Wasn't really clear, but it's because she wasn't praised ever, and the specifics of it don't really matter, but she reacts really violently, and it's kind of cute. So I quite enjoyed that. So then we pan over to the rest of the teams. They're all doing their thing because, you know, the whole group got split into sections. Kikoru and Kafka are in one place. Reno and some of the other guys are in another. And then some of the other guys are somewhere else as well. And so we pan out to each of them and we see that they're all doing their job. And they're all doing it really well. Reno takes out Joju by himself as well. And some other team members with him take down another one. And then the two other guys, like the one with the long hair and the one with the spiky hair, are also taking down some kaiju. And some of the other older JDF team members are like super confused. They're like, what the heck? These guys are crazy. What's going on with them? Why are they so good? And it's basically because for Reno specifically, Reno wants to make sure that Kafka doesn't have to show off his kaiju form. So he's doing his best to be strong so that he can protect Kafka to an extent, because Kafka saved his life. So, you know, they're connected emotionally and for the rest of their life because shonen. But yeah, that's basically it for Reno. But for everyone else, basically it's because Kikoru is so far ahead of the curve that everyone feels like they have to strive to be better. And it kind of works well. Plus they all, you know, push each other. So it's like a very concise team working together to get stronger. And by working together to get stronger, each of them gets stronger individually. And they show off a lot. And they're way better than everyone expected them to be, which is super cool. And yeah, so thing happens. And then we learn a little bit of kaiju hunting tactics, basically. They have these little cartridges that they can switch in and out of their guns. And each cartridge has a different type of power to it. Like some of them freeze the kaiju at specific points where they shoot them. Others are like a burst shot, like a shotgun. Others, I assume, have other types of attacks, but we only saw those two. And it's really interesting and it's really cool. And it shows off a bit of the power stuff that's gonna happen. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah. So, everyone's surprised. Nakanoshima, who is this new character that we haven't really seen before, who is this female team member of the JDF, is really smitten with two of the boys, the guy with the long hair and the guy with the spiky hair. And she's like, oh, one of them is rugged, good looking, and the other one is nice and clean, but he's still... And, you know, she kind of does that thing where, like, they get, like, really perverted for, like, a second. Which is really funny. I really like the balance that the mangaka has here between serious action and, you know, drops of good comedy. It's just really good. So, yeah. Basically, after that, the team is doing really good, and Kafka feels that he needs to help some way, right? Because, you know, information's coming back in about how the team is doing. Kafka's reading through it because he's sitting back while Kikoru and the other people are attacking because he doesn't have that much power. And he realizes, hey, just because I can't physically attack people doesn't mean I can't use my knowledge for other things. And so he goes up to the Joju that they killed and he dissects it really quickly with his knife and suit, which apparently even 1% is way more of an upgrade than he would have if he was, you know, a normal person. So he can dismantle the kaiju really quickly. He finds out that there's two things, right? One of the weak spot organs that, you know, they would usually shoot at is not in its usual spot. They have to go find it in a different area. So he recommends that other people flank the monster so that they can kill it faster. And then the other thing that he notices is that there's a reproductive organ in the kaiju, and he tells Hoshina, hey man, this stuff happening. They have this special hard thing at the back of their neck. And they have a reproductive organ, so be careful because more kaiju could come out of this. And basically, he gives everyone very important intel, which they didn't have access to before because apparently this was a different type of kaiju, and they had no intel about it just yet. And so Kafka provided for them, which is really awesome. Kafka feels really proud of this accomplishment because he finally showed, you know, some level of help for the JDF, and that's really what he's been wanting to do his whole life. And so he finally reaches that level, which is really cool. I was really happy about Kafka doing that, and you know, I really enjoyed that. So after that, you know, Hoshina and him are talking, and he's like, Hoshina tells Kafka, you know what? Look, it's about to start. You have to see who the person that you want to be near or standing next to is like right now. And we pan over to Mina, who has a giant cannon in her hands. It's like sitting on the roof of something. And we see a really cool shot of like half of her face, which I really thought was really awesome. Maybe I'll ask someone to color it on the subreddit if someone hasn't already done it. And she takes a shot and she destroys this big old kaiju. And oh man, it was so cool. I love this mangaka. She's so good at so many things. She's so good at comedic timing. She's so good at large scale action scenes and like beautiful artistic pieces where it shows off how cool this battle is. But she's just so good. I really love everything that this mangaka is doing, and I really hope that she gets pretty popular from this, and that in English we get access to her other two series, which apparently seem to not have done that great, but I would love to support her. It's like with Horikoshi, I want to buy Barrage, which is like his, you know, crappy work before he did My Hero Academia, just because it's Horikoshi. It's kind of the same thing with that. But yeah, Mina has a cannon, she shoots, it explodes, and that's where this chapter ends this week, which is cool. It's not really a cliffhanger. There's a bit of finality to it, but we know that more is going to happen. I assume that there's going to be more to the battle, because if it's only 2 chapters, that would kind of suck. But we're going to have to see what happens here. Now, that's basically it. I don't have any real theories. At this point, anything that I could say is basically just guessing. There's really no new developments that I could point to be like, yeah, because of this can happen. So I don't really feel comfortable giving out any theories, mostly because I just haven't been able to think of any. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.